I'll be showing you how to make parametric constraints in Autodesk Inventor. First, start by opening a new part file, creating a sketch, and making a rectangle. Next, we'll want to dimension the bottom of the rectangle to be 3 inches. To dimension the sides, we're going to select the top and bottom face, select number 3, which ends up being dimension 0, and multiplying times 5/3. Then we're going to extrude by hitting Finish Sketch and Extrude, and this is going to be 1/20th of this dimension. So times 1 divided by 20. Now all 3 of those dimensions are all related to one another. Now your job is to start making what is called the slot. So I'll show you how to get started. First, you're going to want to draw a rectangle that looks about the size of the slot. Then, I like to change to tangent circle and making my slot. Trimming away the excess. So that'll be the slot. Next, you'll want to dimension the slot width, which is half the overall depth. And remember, we said the bottom number is our depth. So we're going to want to go back to our browser, Finish Sketch, select Sketch 1, and make it visible again. Now we can double click on Sketch 2, and we can still see these dimensions. That way we can click on them. So the location of the overall width is from this line to this line, and it's going to be referenced with the plate depth, which is 3 inches, and it's going to be half of that. So it's dimension 0 times 1/2, and you get 1.5. Now I want you guys to work through dimensioning the width of this, which ends up being the diameter of these half circles, where this slot will be located, referencing this line and the top of the slot, and this side face and this side of the slot. So to do that, you're going to be using this reference dimension and this reference dimension, and multiplying them by varying fractions. So once you finish making your slot, you're going to want to start making the hole. So to do that, we're going to click and create a sketch. We're going to place a point down in this right corner because that's where we want the hole to end up. It might be a little hard to see, but the point's right here in red. So first, we're going to want to set the hole width location. So to do that, we're going to select our width, which is right now 5 inches. Select 5 inches, and it's going to be 1/4 the overall plate width, so 1/4 of this. So we're going to do times 1/4. That way, whatever we change this number to, this is always going to be 1/4 of that. Next, we're going to want to change the hole depth, how far it is from this side to this side. To do that, we're going to dimension and select the left side, and we're saying we want to select our depth dimension, and it's going to be 2/3 that. So we're going to multiply times dimension, the depth dimension, which is D0, times 2/3, and it moves it into 2 inches. That makes sense because 2/3 of 3 is 2. Hole diameter. To do that, we're going to click Finish Sketch, click Hole, make sure it's from Sketch, select your centers, come down and drop down, and we're going to want to click Show Dimensions. Now we're able to click on other dimensions and reference them. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, before we do that, we want to go back and make sure that we allow the visibility on our slot. So you can see these are all my numbers. So go back to hole, click centers, come down, click show dimensions, and it's going to be the same as this dimension. So I'm going to click that dimension and click OK. Now the taper is 0. Now the only reason we'd use taper is if we'd extruded that, but we didn't. So alright, so now just to show you how this works, I'm going to go back in and change our first dimension, which was 3. We'll change it to something crazy like 0.003. Finish sketch. Now we can't even see it anymore, but if we zoom in on the part, preferably, which is right here, keep zooming in, it looks exactly the same. The only thing that's changed is now it's super small. So we can change this dimension again to be 300. If it wants to work. So you go back into the sketch and change this to 300. Now it's huge. Finish sketch. Zoom out. It looks the same. Now instead of 3 and 5, it's 300 and 500. Everything is referenced off of one another, so it looks exactly the same no matter how big you make it. I hope this helps. Good luck with making your slot. It's a little difficult, but I think you guys can figure it out. If not, ask Mr. Bowen for help. He knows everything. Thanks for watching.